Hey, Shelby, nice seeing you again.
So great to see you, Dave.
Hey, we just had a awesome talk on fear and what do you do when you're on the fence and you're feeling fear, and what are some principles that you can follow that help you through it. But I just wanted to hear, I know you have a story around what actually fear and anxiety comes from. So I'd love to hear this. So please share.
Thank you for asking. So I'm going to take you back around, I think it was 5 years ago. And it was Sunday morning. I'm walking in the kitchen, it was summertime, and I hear this crackling of my mom making eggs. And all of a sudden, my heart starts racing. I could just feel like my heart pounding out of my chest. My face goes red. My palms start to sweat. And I'm feeling really anxious and even fearful in this moment. And so when I'm in that moment, I know what's triggering it. And so I just take a breath and I'm like, okay, breathe, breathe. I'm trying to calm down my heart so it doesn't beat right out of my chest. And my mom turns around, she's just like, hey, do you want me to make you some eggs? She has no idea that I'm actually having this massive, like, physiological response to what I'm experiencing in the moment. And so you're probably wondering, why are you overreacting to sizzling eggs in a frying pan? Well, fast forward 2 years ago, prior to that, I was in chiropractic college and I was cooking with oil, and I had the temperature on really high and the oil actually caught fire. And what happened was there was the result of that oil fire was that I actually got burned on my hand and forearm. And it was a pretty severe burn. And the recovery period was probably about 9 months for it to even close. And it was very painful, very traumatic event in my life at the time. And so anytime I heard a little crackling, a little oil, or saw a fire that seemed to be really big and very big in volume and size, my body remembered that experience. And so it became very fearful and very visceral that, oh my God, you got to protect yourself right now, because if something happens, you could get burned again, you could get hurt again, and you're going to have to go through that whole experience again. So
Hmm.
that's a pretty extreme reaction, and could be even more on what we'll call like the post-traumatic stress, where you experience something that you perceive as traumatic, and then it that fear, those emotions just stay in your body, and anything that kind of triggers it could relive that experience for you. So that's one of my most extreme examples of fear and anxiety that I've experienced. But it
That's
was,
a
yeah.
that's a wild story, and it makes sense that obviously, like anyone who's had that traumatic event, that you still have a trigger with. You get around the same experience in the present moment, you're naturally going to have a reaction to that. And so that's why it's great to look at all these experiences in life, go through each decade and just see it. Are there experiences that you've had that you perceive or have more negative than positive, or bad than good, and cause more harm than good? And so if that's the case, then those are going to be triggering future fears, all throughout your life. And so it's wise to go through and look at those and see that, well, each event was actually neutral. There was nothing missing. And then also that if there was something you perceive you've lost or gained, and that actually wasn't true, it just transformed to new forms. And when you can go back and see that about your past, it makes sense that would dissolve the fear of doing that again in the future, because all you're going to do is have lessons in life that have learnings to them that we need. That's why we attracted them, in order for us to serve our mission. Just like this event you had was probably one of the most important things that's ever happened to you to create who you are today, right?
Oh, absolutely. If I look back on that moment in time, and I guess one thing I want to emphasize to everyone who's watching here is, if you are having these physiological responses that maybe even seem so out of control and seem like, I'm stuck with this forever, that's not the case. And there are specific questions that we can ask to guide you through to help balance your perceptions and also integrate your physiology so that if these triggers come up again, that you're not having that same physiological response that could impact you in your health, your wealth, your relationships, so many different areas. So I just want to let you know that this is a solvable problem, and I've experienced it myself in many different ways. And it's very powerful once you begin to balance out those big moments in your life and see the blessings behind it, because they're very rich and they have a lot of lessons, and they're definitely especially those big moments in life that you've experienced have a massive impact on what really is most meaningful and fulfilling to you now.
Yeah, exactly. And so because we've had experiences in our past that have been big, we're likely to keep attracting more future experiences that are going to stress us potentially and create future fears possibly, or present time fears. So having these tools to help you navigate these transitions in life is just an important thing. So I love sharing that. So anybody who's listening, get in touch with us, and we can help you through any of these past experiences or any future or present fears you have. So where do we get a hold of you, Shelby?
I can be reached on LinkedIn or also on social media, Instagram, Facebook. Feel free to contact me if you are experiencing fear, anxiety. I know there's a lot of that going on right now. Here's the thing. You can integrate it and balance your mind and body so that you can actually perform at the level that you'd love to. Where can people find you, Dave?
Amen. They can find me at drdavetuck.com. Ditto to everything you said. So, don't sit on the fence. Get off the fence and let's take some action. So we can help you out.
Yeah.
We'll catch you next time.
Till next time.
Bye.